Hey everybody, welcome back to Miami Minute on Wicked Good Everything, where we cover my favorite team, the Miami Dolphins, and another demoralizing defeat as the Dolphins fall to the Jets 40-17. First of all, big shout out to the Jets. Good game, good win, especially big shout out to their offense, specifically the rushing offense. They had, 5 touchdowns today. Bryce Hall had 97 yards rushing. He had a touchdown. Carter had 2. Barrios had 1. Even Zach Wilson had 1. So thoroughly kicked our ass, especially our defense, which, you know, we like to think after last season where they seemed fairly elite, was going to continue to be elite. But there always were nagging questions regarding the competition that the Dolphins played down the stretch that maybe padded the defensive stats, and the fact that they didn't as aggressively pursue defensive players in free agency and trades in the offseason the same way that they did for the offense might have been a mistake. So let's get into it. Obviously, a very disappointing beginning to this game. Teddy Bridgewater was going to be the starter. I was excited for him. Tua is obviously my guy, but with everything happening around Tua's concussion and the media outcry, obviously, even if he passed his concussion protocols, there was no chance the Dolphins were going to play him in this game, and that's fine. It's very reasonable. Unfortunately, because of the added rules and regulations surrounding concussions, Teddy Bridgewater only got the opportunity to pass one time in this game. He was then thrown to the ground, hurt his elbow and his head, passed the concussion protocols, but because of the new rules, he was ruled out of the game and put into the concussion protocol for the week. This also led to a safety to start off the game. I don't know, and of course, this could just be a Dolphins fan being somewhat butthurt. I am a little butthurt. I'm sad that the Dolphins lost, but to rule intentional grounding on a play where the Jets defender heavily affected where the ball was going to go, I don't know about that one. I don't know what was intentional about getting his hand hit and then the ball going where it went. Regardless, bad start to the game. Skylar Thompson, a preseason hero, a player who showed a lot of potential in the preseason, comes in and, I mean, listen, while he did play great in the preseason, regular season are quite different. He had 2 turnovers in this game. He went 19 of 33 for 166 yards, no touchdown, 1 interception, and he had a fumble that really sealed the deal near the end. But what can you expect from a third string, 7th round pick rookie who going into the game probably was prepared to potentially go in, but then right away having to play without getting to spend the week as the starter and prepare in that way. You know, it's unfortunate, but I'm not terribly upset with his performance. I wish the Dolphins had played better. I wish they had won, but they hung around, and really that's all you can hope for given the circumstances. I was nervous going into the game with Teddy just because he hadn't looked great in the short time we had to watch him in the previous week against the Bengals. Of course, he threw an interception that sealed the deal when they were going down to possibly take the lead. But I was hopeful that he would do well and the Dolphins would be able to deliver a team win, especially after a week of preparing as a starter. But once Skylar went in there, it was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, they're going to lose. They're going to get dropped to 3-2, and they did. They did kind of shift the offensive focus, with Tua. It's very pass heavy, obviously, with him out, and down to their third string quarterback. They rushed more. Raheem Mostert had 113 yards and a touchdown. That was good for him. Tyreek Hill, he had 7 receptions for 47 yards, leading the way there. Mike Gesicki had 1 for 30. I don't know what we're doing with Mike Gesicki, man. Should we just trade him? Will the Dolphins trade him? Does he just not fit in this offense at all? He just seems like such a mismatch, such a good player that you could do a lot of exciting things with, and the Dolphins just refuse to do so. It's disappointing. Jalen Waddle, he only had 3 for 23. Really, the Dolphins, like, big plays in this game or pass interference calls, you can't live off those. You can't count on those. So while it was nice to move the ball through penalties, it's not sustainable, and it obviously caught up with them at the end of the game. I'm not going to use injuries as an excuse. The Jets really kicked the Dolphins' asses. It's all there is to it. I will say that I'm hopeful that as the season goes on, we'll get healthier. I mean, realistically, when you go into a season with optimism, with like talent on the roster like this, the only thing that can derail it is injuries, and we're going through that right now. Hopefully, we'll get the injuries out of the way now and be able to finish strong. But right now, it's disappointing. I mean, obviously, as a Dolphins fan who's only started watching since like 2001, when I was old enough to really understand what was happening, I've been well conditioned to expect nothing but disappointment with this team. But somehow, some way, I let myself get my hopes up every year. And I still do have optimism going in the season. It's just, if they can't get healthy and they can't win next week, that 3-0 start will seem very far away, and who knows how this season will end. That being said, I still think that the Dolphins are a talented team and they can go on a run, provided they get healthy. Other than that, I mean, like I said, this isn't going to be the longest episode. Shout outs to the Jets. I think I've said this on Twitter. The Jets are better than people are giving them credit for. So losing to them isn't the biggest deal to me. I thought it was a possibility with Bridgewater anyways. So the fact that we did, it's like, okay, I kind of mentally prepared for this. I think Robert Saleh is a really good coach, and I think he's going to like lead the Jets to, I don't know, the promised land, but lead them to relevancy. They're 3-2 now. That's great. Zach Wilson's back for them, obviously. That's huge for them. And, you know, we, as Dolphins fans, we had a few in a row over the Jets. And it's okay to lose to them because realistically that feeds the rivalry, right? Like it sucks to lose to a division rival, but you'd rather that sometimes than just run over them always, so you can have like a healthy rivalry. Like when the Pats were in their 20 years of dominance, did they really consider the Bills a rival? Probably not. They beat them all but like 3 times during that span. I think they probably considered the Dolphins and Jets rivals more so, and, you know, it is what it is. It's disappointing, but let's stay optimistic. Let's hope that things will get better as the season goes on. When we get Tua back, when Xavier Howard plays, you know, those are probably our most important player on offense and our best player maybe on the team, maybe Tyreek Hill, but certainly on defense. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe. We cover the Dolphins every single week along with the other 4 major sports. You can follow me on Twitter at @thefakeBMar. That's BMAR. Our channel is on Twitter at WickedGoodSport or WG Everything. Instagram at Wicked Good Everything. Twitch at twitch.tv/Wicked Good Everything. And on TikTok, search Wicked Good Sports. Search Wicked Good Everything. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next one.